fantastic to be here today presenting on the current state of development across the Star Atlas ecosystem. We have some incredible gaming updates to share with you today, though I do want to spend just a little bit of time talking about the work that we're doing at Automata, which is the studio behind the vision of Star Atlas. Now, through the course of the presentation today, there's really two key themes that I want to demonstrate. One, that Star Atlas truly is the next generation of gaming, and not just in Web3, but across the games industry. And two, that this concept of Star Atlas is significantly larger than that of just a video game. With our open architecture and permissionless on-chain game design, we are building a gaming ecosystem in very much the same way that a layer 1 protocol like Solana develops out its own ecosystem by delivering primitives and programs that attract developers and innovators to build upon. Now, Star Atlas was conceived in mid-2020. And at the time, we had a couple of key objectives. We wanted to bring AAA gaming to Web3. We wanted to integrate blockchain to as much of the game as possible. And we wanted to build it on the only protocol capable of delivering that game logic at scale. Naturally, we selected Solana. And I still believe to this day that that choice was one of the best early strategic decisions that we made as an organization. As we move forward, we've scaled the company from the 4 original co-founders to 233 people today, operating across 25 countries, fully remote, in virtually every time zone around the world. And as an organization, we focus our efforts primarily on 3 core verticals of business. And that includes gaming experiences, infrastructure and architecture, and a marketplace. Now, I'm not going to spend much time talking about the marketplace today, but I do want to emphasize the significance of the marketplace on our economy. It is the engine room that facilitates commerce between our players and will be absolutely pivotal in the player-to-player and player-driven economy going into the future. In the infrastructure division, we're building out services like Fuzzy Lemur, which is a blockchain indexing service. This allows us to bypass RPC nodes and get our data directly from the source. Early analytics indicate that we are able to receive state change data from validators in as little as 16 milliseconds, and on the median, in 250 milliseconds. Now, if it's difficult to contextualize that for you, it is for me too. But I can assure you, my engineers have told me that these results are impressive. And in fact, if those results are able to be maintained, this will be the most performant blockchain indexer in the industry. And in addition to that, we're working on Starcom, which is a middleware Web3 MMO game server, which is going to need to handle millions or potentially billions of client connections to our environments. And then on top of that, and finally, the Foundation SDK. This is a piece of software that we open source and released to the world on September 29th. This is a Web3 JS library developed in C++ that natively integrates Solana into Unreal Engine. Now, using this technology, we built the world's first Solana wallet in UE5. But the potential doesn't stop there. We actually see this technology as creating pathways for developers and game studios from all over the world to onboard into Web3, onboard onto Solana, wherein we can create interconnected and interoperable pathways between our environments and theirs. Now, where we spend most of our time chewing on glass, as Tully says, is building out the gaming experiences. And we build our AAA client in Unreal Engine 5. We build an immersive web client using Play Canvas. And we also recently spun up a mobile division. Now, Automata is a gaming company, but Our destination is the metaverse, the open metaverse. And Star Atlas in gaming is how we get there and bring billions of customers along with us. So, with that being said, let me pause for a moment and now transport you some 600 years into the future. I'm going to play a cinematic trailer that we released last year.
Miles, the station reported a distress signal last night. They think it came from your dad's ship.
The signal, it came from past the outer ring. How is that even possible?
His ship has been reported missing for 20 years now. Pretty sure he's not coming back.
We go there, we might not come back.
What is this place?
This is going to change everything. They found out we have the map. They're gonna kill us for it.
If that's the case, there's only one thing we can do.
Seen this at least 100 times and I still get the chills. Now, while that wasn't captured in Unreal Engine, I want you to keep that visual identity in mind when we move into the Unreal Engine content. But before we do that, I'm just going to start with some updates, some early access into our immersive web or browser-based client. Now, anybody that follows along with Star Atlas knows we love using acronyms in our project code names. This has been operating under project codename SCREAM, which is Ship Combat Resource Extraction and Missions. That was the original idea. But today, we are formally debuting the go-forward branding of Star Atlas Golden Era, or SAGE, for our web client. Now, what is SAGE? Well, from an architecture standpoint, this is your top-down, isometric view, real-time strategy gameplay. It uses a very unique to Star Atlas cartographer aesthetic on the map, and most importantly, this is predominantly developed with on-chain mechanics for the game logic. We're delivering no less than 6 new on-chain programs for the functionality of SAGE. Things like combat, movement around the map, inventory management, crafting systems, and many others are all delivered on-chain. From the gameplay perspective, this is all about territory expansion and control. You'll start at one of 3 central space stations based on the faction that you choose. You'll explore into the map, you'll collect resources, you'll use those resources to construct star bases and level those up, as well as defend against attacks from the other 2 factions, and destroy star bases from those other opponents. So let's just take a look at some of the UI here that we have up and coming, and this is all still very early stage stuff, but what you see is a small battle going on at the Oni Central Space Station. And on the top left is your player profile and character data. On the right-hand side, you have a global fleet management system, and down in the lower left is your action hub, so you can perform these functions in-game. We'll take another look here just from a different angle. And one more look here. This is of one of the star bases that are being crafted. And once again, you are leveling these up through the contribution of resources on a global level. And we'll take one more look of just the Tier 0 baseline starbase that is under construction. So, one of the reasons we call this golden era is because it unlocks the next generation of game economics across the Star Atlas ecosystem. And again, I'm not going to be spending a ton of time talking about the economy today, although I do think that this is one of those categories in Web3 games where there's largely deficient effort put into economic architecture and design, structuring sustainable economics that can persist into the future. On the other hand, in our case, we put significant resources into this economic architecting. Within our economy department, we've created 3 sub-departments that consist of game economy, wherein we focus on balance between gameplay mechanics, in the token economy or tokenomics, and this is where we look at any time a cryptocurrency intersects with any of the gameplay itself, and then finally on the metaverse economy. And this is really an emerging field of research, and we think through what the implications are for participation in digital society in these virtual worlds going on into the future. And if you've read through any of our quarterly State of the Economy reports, we are literally defining what it means today to be a citizen in one of these worlds. But with all that said, this is the moment probably everyone here has really been waiting for, which is the content released from Unreal Engine 5. And this is incredibly impressive work from our team. We're going to walk through this just by discovering a couple of the content delivery pipelines that our art and production team work on. So we'll be playing a video here that walks through environments, through ships, through characters, animation and VFX, and finishes with design. I almost get a little emotional when I watch that. It's like watching a child take its first steps. I should have warned you that we were going full speed there. We tried to fit about 15 minutes worth of content into 4 minutes, and there's so much more behind the scenes. But this is some of the most innovative stuff that's going on in game design right now, happening, and we're less than a year into development on this. So, yeah. So where are we today, and where are we going? Well, today we are revealing for the first time that we have an entirely new roadmap structure that we're releasing to the world that will describe the way that we reveal and unveil and provide access to this game through time. And so presently, we're living in the stage of preseason, and this was executed, once again, back on September 29th, when we launched on Epic Games Store our Volant Station showroom module. Now, this was pretty simple. It was a beautiful environment, and it was the ability to interact with your ships and your models and see them at scale against other ships. If you were with us on Games Day last Friday, you will have gotten a sneak peek of what's up and coming in the second release of this 4-release schedule. That will include multiplayer instances, both hosted, private or publicly hosted, the ability to join those instances, multiplayer proximity chat, text chat, an in-showroom racing course, as well as a dedicated standalone dogfighting arena instance where you can test your skills against AI. And moving into the next season, you're going to see this map right here that's on screen. You're going to see this map expand in multiples. And we'll be revealing the creation of the very first megastructure project within Star Atlas. You'll be working collaboratively with every other user across the Star Atlas ecosystem to collect materials and resources from mining facilities and contribute those to the creation of a warp gate, which will take you out of the showroom, out of preseason, and into Season 0. And finally, we'll be finishing the preseason with the addition of PvE, looting mechanics, and missions. And just to give you a little sense of scale of what it is that you're going to be working on, the showroom, it's hard to tell. That showroom is in the lower left. That is the entire universe of Star Atlas today, down in the lower left of that screen, and you will be building this warp gate to exit this planet. Going to move relatively quickly here for the rest of this. We had a ton of content to try to fit in today, and I am running low on time. What I do want to highlight today is really just the next seasonal release. So we're going to get through the preseason. That's going to happen sometime next year. But also going into next year, we're expecting the release of our first official season, and that is going to introduce a complete gameplay loop and mechanic of combat racing. These are the repeatable, replayable, economically driven, and sweaty and twitchy gameplay, as our co-founder, chief product officer calls it, those really fun, entertaining, and engaging gameplay experiences. This will be the complete loop, the first loop. And we're calling that Star Atlas Alive. So we have many more things coming that include ship mining, the ability to go out and the big game hunting, and bounty hunting, and effectively every season going forward for the next 8 seasons will consist of some specialization of one of the gameplay mechanics wherein we enhance the various professions throughout the game. This is going to take us years. We're expecting 5 to 7 years still to complete this game, but the idea is we roll this content out over time, and you always have something new and active to engage in. Now, I'm going to leave this on screen just for a moment here so you can capture that if you'd like. We do have, I am out of time here, but we do have one more major announcement today. I'm super thrilled about this one. It is the official release of Star Atlas Core. Core is an 18-chapter graphic novel set in comic book format that is released on a monthly basis starting today. It follows along with our protagonist, Gian, and his crew of everyday explorers as they navigate the universe of Star Atlas some 120 years before current era in-game. And it tells the story of how a select few individuals can change the entire course of history. Now, we're releasing this for free, as a free-to-read product across all of the major e-reader publications today. That includes Amazon and Google and Apple, Barnes & Noble, the Star Atlas Marketplace, amongst others. Though we do have an option for the collectors out there to purchase this as a commemorative NFT series over the next 18 months. We're selling this for $20, and for the first time, we're collaborating with an external marketplace. We are working with Magic Eden, and each of the Star Atlas Marketplace and the Magic Eden Marketplace will have a unique collectible cover. Collecting this content, which is totally optional, provides you access to additional hidden material and content that is not available in the free-to-read version, as well as the ability to redeem at the conclusion of the collection for a commemorative, hardbound, high-quality physical book. So, with that, everyone, we did actually get one more additional amazing video, but as I'm over time, I'm going to play that as I walk off stage. So just wanted to thank you all for listening, and as we always say, power to the people.
The greatest intersection of these spaces of outward expansion and inward expansion is embodied by Star Atlas. Star Atlas is a new metaverse. It's going to open up the final frontier, the intergalactic frontier. Is an ontological awakening. It's going to allow us to stargate beyond the bounds of the imagination, to literally become starlight. This metaverse will augment our minds and augment our world and finally allow us to show ourselves to ourselves.